Okay, good evening. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be recorded, and since these are just suggestions, I'll send this out to everyone. Um, so how are we going to do it? I'm going to go through each strategy and explain each one, and then after each strategy, I'll ask if there's any questions. Um, at this time, I want to leave the opinions, or if you agree or not, to the end of all the strategies. So right now it's just giving people a basic understanding of some of the suggestions that were sent in to us. And I also want to preface it by saying that these aren't necessarily strategies that we agree or disagree with, but we presented it. I mean, people, members of the community suggested it, and we want to make sure that it's presented to all. And so this is the list that we came up with. So the first strategy was we have over 400 members. Every 16 members will donate, basically donating, just what it says, no return, $50 to the person in the water to help close boards and create momentum. And so the thought behind that is, yes, we know that this is not a long-term type of strategy. The whole point of this is to try to create some momentum. And instead of asking the members to donate $100, it was suggested that we split the spot and do $50. So basically that will be 16 members per board to push it through, close the boards, and try to create some momentum that way. So I'm going to open it up. If you have any questions about strategy one, ask now, please.
Question about strategy one. If everyone in the community donates $50, would that mean we'll be closing all the boards that are in the group now and then doing away with the community?
No.
Would they be?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think you answered it, because then I was wondering, are they still, even because they're donating and there's no return, are they still getting placed on the board with the understanding that they'll be pushed out later?
You know what? That's a great question, and it was presented to me, and I did not fully think that through. So it is no return. So now that you've said that, we will have to probably put asterisks by those people's names, and because you wouldn't get a return. So it would literally just be helping pushing people through. So when you get to that water position, that's a great question that I'm going to need to somebody's going to need to walk me through that. When they get to the point till they get to the water position, the only thing I can think of is that instead of that board, when that person gets to the water position, that board will automatically be closed, and we would then split the board to push, to keep it moving. That's the only thing I can think of.
So Erin, it would just be that two people with name would be on those spots. So instead of one person being in the fire, there will be two people in the fire. So Pretty much it will be created. So when that person gets to the water, then actually both of those people will split the amount once they get to the water. So does that make sense?
Oh, is that what it was? I thought the whole thing is no return for the donating.
It's no, so pretty much is this them volunteering to put themselves into the fire. But even eventually someone is still going to have to go into those spots to be able to push the other people through, if that makes sense. So even if it's just the more so the point of it, from my understanding from the member who suggested it, was that they're just volunteering themselves to put up money, to push boards through, to create some momentum in the group. There is going to have to be a return on it because they're going to be placed in those spots. But the thing is, you're not going to get a full return. You would only get a partial return because whoever you decide to split the board with, or whoever's half on that board with you, you guys will have to split whenever you get into the water.
Okay,
so you're not going to get a full return. You will only get a partial return. That's the way I understood it. Okay.
I understood it as basically you're donating to push it through. I guess, I don't know, should I put as the two options on how to do it, or should we just go with they split it? And this is for the members. You all can chime in as far as that.
I think my vote would be that it would split. Like the young lady just said, it would be a split between the profit once you get in the water.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think that's going to be the only way it can be done, because the rest of the people that are not in the water is still going to have to keep getting pushed through. But everyone has to understand they're not going to get the full amount back for it. They're going to have to split it with someone who else is on that board as well once they get in the water.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'm just coming on. Did I miss anything?
Yes.
We're just coming on too.
Okay, real quick. The first strategy,
hold on one moment, please. We have 5 people coming on that I had to contact everybody, and they're getting on like right now as we speak, and we're just getting on as well. Okay.
Okay.
This isn't the strategy that have won or whatever, is it?
We're discussing all of the strategies because some people weren't clear on, they wanted to wait until they knew exactly what each one meant before they voted.
Okay.
Happy Friday. How's everybody doing?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome, and you?
This is just a suggestion. Maybe instead of stopping after each one, maybe it might be better to go over everything, because that could lead to people forming an opinion on one, and then when another one, they can change their opinion as to what responded to with the first one, and that's just extra conversation.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I agree.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and finish up. Again, this is recorded, and I'll go ahead and send this one out. Okay, so the first strategy was we had over 400 members. Every 16 members will donate $50 to the person in the water to help close boards and create momentum. We know that this is a temporary solution, but we want to at least create the momentum. Once the 2 people that are in that slot, because you're sharing a slot, once they get to the water, they will then split that blessing. Strategy 2. So right now we have someone working on collecting data from our current boards. And basically what they're doing is they're starting from the very beginning as far as when we first, board number 1, and they're going through all the way to board 226. And they're capturing the person's name, the date that they came on the board, and they're also capturing how many slots they have on all of the boards. So basically, we will then filter it where it will start with the people that have only blessed 100 to people that have blessed over $2,000 worth. And it will be sorted from least to the greatest amount that people have blessed. So we would then go in order of how they came on board, starting with the least amount of money that they have blessed on the board, and then we will then put their names on boards, basically having to re-bless $100 to keep it moving. So basically, if you've only blessed one board for $100, you will be one of the first people put on that board. If by chance, when you see your name and you do not want to continue on, we will then give you the option to have someone buy you out. You can either find someone to buy you out, or we will present it to the group to buy you out. Now, I received a question that said, well, why does it have to be 75? Why can't they buy me out for the 100? Well, I mean, if you find somebody that will do the 100, then that's fine. However, most people are not going to want to buy the 100, and it's more appealing to buy at the $75 amount. Let me see, what else? Notes on the thing. What am I missing? Saban, am I missing anything?
Hey, Aaron. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll just quickly run through strategy 2, just in case, because it appears as though strategy 1 and 2 were the most confusing with the members, based on the chat, I think yesterday's chat. So if I can just take a few minutes just to go through strategy 2.
Sure.
Some stuff I'll just read verbatim as was shared with us in the Google Doc that you posted.
And not the time frames, because the time frames, I should have taken that out as far as the operation, when we.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All
and
right.
I'll just expound as needed. So basically, an analysis will be created, as Aaron just stated, identifying each active Blessings 2.0 member, the number of total times each active member appears on boards, and the most current date each member became a fire. This particular analysis will sort all members in sequential order, starting with members only active once, all the way down to those appearing the greatest number of times. Let's say, for example, 20 times. I think Aaron just used examples of dollar amounts versus the number of times that they appear. Same concept. From this point, subgroups will be created based on the number of total times members appear on open existing boards. The subgroup of members only appearing once, for example, would be sorted by the most current date they became a fire. So those with the start date as a fire furthest away will be at the top of the analysis sheet, and those with the most current start date will be at the bottom of the analysis sheet. For example, just to try to paint a vivid picture for everyone, let's say we have 10 members within the subgroup of those only appearing once on an open existing board. Of the 10 members listed at the top would be one whom joined as a fire on, let's say, July 29th, while the member at the bottom would be one whom joined as a fire on, let's say, yesterday, August 13th. And we will follow the same process for subsequent subgroups. For example, another subgroup would be that of members appearing on an open existing board a total of 2 times. Another subgroup would be that of a member appearing on an open existing board a total of 3 times, and so on and so forth. The admin will follow a similar process to that which we currently practice, and they'll post one board at a time with the member in the water at that particular time listed as the 8th fire on their own board. The boards will continue to be posted in sequential order. Please understand that the admins will not deviate from this process at all. Again, I repeat, the boards will continue to be posted in sequential order. The other 7 fire vacancies will be plugged in automatically as they appear on the analysis sheet. As previously mentioned, the analysis sheet will begin with those members only appearing on an open existing board once and will flow in sequential order from there. So once you are added as a new fire, the new total number of open existing boards will be tallied and you will be placed at the bottom of the respective subgroup. For example, you're currently only on 1 open existing board. You are added as a new fire. You are now on a total of 2 open existing boards and will be placed at the bottom of the list in that particular subgroup of members on 2 open existing boards. Hopefully that makes sense. But the process will remain the exact same from this point. Once a board is full, a message will be posted by admin to include the Cash App information of the person to be watered, and a specific amount of time will be given to process those Cash App transactions. So that pretty much sums up the process for strategy 2. I know some of you may be thinking, well, how often will I have to be added as a new fire? And unfortunately, it is unknown how often a member will have to be added as a new fire. This is contingent upon the total number of times a member appears on an open existing board. This is contingent upon how many boards admin closes each day, etc. So the only certainty at this time is that those appearing the fewest amount of times will be added as new fires more often than those appearing the greatest number of times. So that's all I have for strategy 2.
Question for strategy 2.
Okay.
What is the amount going in for the fires for option 2?
It's 100.
It is 100. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right.
So I had another question. I had a question for strategy 2 because I'm really trying to understand this. So what we're saying is, if you are on the board, let's just say, for example, I paid back the second week in July, right? I haven't come up to get watered yet. And then I bought on a couple other boards. So you're saying that if I'm only on a few amount of boards, without even being watered, I'm expected to continue to be fired for other people? Is that what we're saying?
Yes, but again, that would depend on the number of times you're already on an open existing board. So I think you just mentioned that you're already on, you said maybe three open existing boards?
Yes.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Yes, I'm on 3 open existing boards.
So yes, essentially all 550, for the sake of throwing a number out there because I don't know the exact count, all of us will be responsible for reinvesting or reblessing. I'll take you as an example, since you're already on 3 open existing boards, you will
And I haven't been watered, period. So it's like, I haven't been watered, period. So I find it strange that I would continue being a fire, putting out money, and I haven't even received the return.
So that's my issue too.
So that's where my concern is coming in at. It's not that I don't want to re-bless. I'm there. I joined the group to re-bless, but it's like, how do you re-bless? And then you expect me to give more money and I'm not getting any return on what I've already invested.
Right, I totally understand that. Because you're currently on 3 open existing boards, honestly, I don't have the analysis sheet in front of me, so I don't know exactly where you would fall, but I think it's safe to assume that you would be, let's say, number 350 down the list of people to where it's now your time to be added as a new fire. So with that understanding, more than likely, again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I can't say this with 100% certainty, but more than likely you will, within that time period of closing all those boards, would have come up in the water position by the time you're expected to be added as a new fire, if that makes sense. And that's only because you are currently on 3 existing boards. Whereas those that are only on 1 existing open board, their name would come up as a new fire long before yours would, because they're only on one open existing board. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
Sorry, Sean. So then the person that's on just one board would pretty much water twice before the person on the third, because they would move from the one subcategory to the two, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I totally understand that there will be members that don't like this and don't think that it's fair or that they should be up to be put on as a new fire, even though they're already on as a new fire. But the only way to make this fair is, because we have to understand, you know, there are some people that are only on one time and there are some people that are on 20 times. But if we understand that all of us have to participate in order to get this ball rolling, right now we're at a complete standstill. In order for, we have to all participate in order to get this ball rolling. And the only fair way to look at that would be to focus on those that are only on once before we focus on those that are already on 15 times. But again, I totally understand if you don't like this strategy.
Yeah, and I think that's why we did that. It was suggested to do the buyout option.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, you want to explain the buyout? Sorry, go ahead.
And the numbers that you base the statistics on, that's only for the active people in 201, correct? Because I know from the old group, there was over 1,000 of us. So the numbers that we are going off of as far as how you will fall is based on just the active members that are on boards currently, correct?
Yes. So the 500 people have at least one slot on a board. So they're considered active. So that's why we went through that whole form process and all of that to try to, you know, weed people out as far as who is on a board and who is not. So we now know that the current members, they are all on a board.
I have a question. We're on 25 boards and we were getting ready to get into the water right when the whole thing stopped. So does that mean that we're going to be repositioned? Or?
No, it's no repositioning. We're in the same spot. However, because you have 20 boards, you will be the last, because I think it's just a handful of you all that are on that many boards. You will be like, I don't know, she said 350 on 3, so that's probably 1,000 to get to you to be expected to re-bless. And you would have, by that time, you would have received your blessings several times.
Okay.
And now if I could add to that, I'm her son, the one you was talking to. I know Mama's voice, but I'm on 8.
Right. So,
we were not too far from getting in the water. We were a little bit behind them.
Right.
Mom and Dad. So you said that it would be highly more likely that I would be blessed before I have to pour out any more.
And by that time, yes, that's true. Yes.
Okay. Because I'm stuck.
I mean, based on Savon's analysis, and I know she doesn't have the full analysis, which that won't be complete until Sunday. But just off of her preliminary, if you've blessed three boards, that's more like 300 and something probably.
Okay.
Before you.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question.
A quick question about option 1. Just a real quick question about that. And the gifting the $50. Since I'm on 8 boards, would I have to give the $50 8 times, or would it just be one time? to get things.
So what we're saying is 16. I was under the impression this is a one-time thing just to create the momentum, not as a long-term solution, but just to create momentum.
I see. Okay, that's all the questions I had. I think I understand both options now.
Okay.
So what about those that only have one, that are on one board? We have, in order for us to get back in the water, we have to give another $100.
Yes, that's what we're suggesting. Or you can do the buyout.
So how does the buyout work?
Well, we have to find a buyout. So we were suggesting that. Well, Saban, you speak on it.
Wow.
Honestly, I'll speak on it to the best of my ability. As far as the buying out for the full 100, but let's say at the end of this call, and once the scores are tallied for the strategies, one of the strategies that you're not a fan of wins and you want out. Totally understandable. You have every right to feel that way. You do have an option to have someone buy your position. That can be someone within the group that buys your position for the amount that you paid, or for whatever, I guess that can be at your discretion, whatever amount you guys agree upon. Or you can choose to have someone outside, an outside member, buy your position. Either way, it's totally up to you. That is one of your options. And you'll just be sure to make sure the admin team is well aware that you have someone that's taking your place.
And that I can switch the name.
Can I say something really fast? So I think just looking at the concept of everyone in this group, and it's to everyone's understanding that we all went into this group knowing that we wanted something to continually be able to grow our community and for us to be able to receive blessings from that community and supporting one another. So at the end of the day, if you went into this thinking you were going to get a quick fix and take your money and walk away, then this, from day one, as we explained, was a savings group, and this was not the best option for you. Just like we have said before, if you were to place your money into a bank and let that money sit for an entire year, your return on that dollar is pennies, is cents to what you would actually receive from us recycling our own money and being able to invest in ourselves as a community. And I want everyone to really think about that. In order to get something out of something, you have to put into something. But number one, you have to walk in with the faith and commitment to know that you're wanting to do this and to be a part of it. And I think a lot of people, get discouraged from it. They don't like the concepts of it. And that's why we gave it to the community to decide what you guys wanted to do to proceed and to really make this a community that's going to work for each other and being able to trust each other to do it. So if you look at that and look at option 2, it's kind of creating, to me, a longer term solution process, because it's continuously giving us fires to be able to refire within our own community versus us looking for people that are coming in and they're not understanding the process. So people got to understand, you have to have like-minded people that are coming into this, because you may have told someone, hey, get on board, and the only thing they heard was, I'm going to get $800 when I put $100 in, but they don't understand it's savings and they're not going to get that return right away. So I want to make that clear. So if you are having someone to invest or take your spot, please take this time to understand and explain to that person before they step into this, understand the real process of what this is for. It's a savings group so that we can continually grow our community and be able to bless one another within that community.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. May I say something? Hi, this is Keyshawn. You ladies are doing a great job explaining. Thank you for hosting this meeting. Renee stated everything perfectly, hit it on the nail. But what I also wanted to say is that initially, as someone has said in the chat before, we have to evolve. And initially, yes, the goal was for people to join, to gift someone. And if they had the luxury of, allowing themselves to wait until they were watered to gift, that was.
We can't hear you, Keyshawn.
It sounds like maybe Keyshawn's internet or
Yeah.
something acting up.
We were pushing. But if this, as we're stalled,
Okay.
and have to get outside the box, we have to look out for each other. A phone, I'll put it in the chat. I'm in the car, so I'll chat it. I'll chat.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay,
I have a
thank
quick
you.
question. There were other options. Are those other options gone, like the newer boards, older boards?
No. We would.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna let's get through the strategies and then we can have a discussion about everything later.
Right.
Okay. So strategy 3 is basically changing this blessing room to a $50 group where you will receive $350 to recoup your investment and profit $250. Strategy 4 is changing the group to a $25 saving. You know what? This is the problem. I'm working off of the wrong document. Oh my goodness. Okay, 1 second, guys. This was an older one that we had because we had a couple of other strategies in here. So just give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, Aaron, while you're doing that, I just wanted to share with you all an experience that I had with another group. They ran into basically the same problem because Saturday when that article came out, everybody freaked out and they just pretty much stopped. Things came to a standstill, very similar to what's happening with this group. But the administrator, she, instead of trying to come up with a different strategy, she just basically shut the group down. And the last note that we received in the group was that she was shutting the group down, and if you want to get back your money, then contact the person that you blessed for a refund. You know, and then that was the last. Basically, the website was gone, and that was the last that I heard from them. And to be quite honest, that happened to be a $50 group, but I still had like $1,200 invested, you know, in that group because, you know, it started off fine and it was going very well, you know, but all of a sudden, you know, people got scared off, and apparently the administrator got scared off, and instead of trying to do like this group is doing and come up with different strategies, they just shut down and just left everybody hanging. So I think we're fortunate to have a group of people who are trying to work this out and trying to come up with solutions to the problem. Basically, that's all really that I wanted to share with you. So, you know, I believe if we continue to work together, we can work this out and at a minimum, you know, recoup the money that we've put in. And if you really understand, if you understand that this is a savings group, believe me, if I put in $100 and I get back $800 in 4 or 5 months, that's still a lot better than you would have done in a savings account. So you need to keep that in mind also. But anyway, that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Dad. Okay, so here we go. Strategy number 3, the person in the water, they take their board, contact all the people on the board and create their own group and manage it. This way you don't have to wait for other boards to close. Admins can have a Zoom call meeting to train the members in the water. to basically manage their board and essentially do what we do as admins. The strategy number 4, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we post 10 older boards each day to be blessed. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we post 10 newer boards each day to be blessed. This way, members don't have to wait as long to get to the water position. So basically waiting for boards to close in front of you. Like, you know how we do it, where we wait. If we have 100 open boards, we wait until all 100 boards are closed, and then we split the boards, which takes a while. So this is an option. Strategy 5, that's the option of changing the board to 50 to receive 350, and your profit is 250. Strategy 6 is change it to a $25 savings group. You receive $175 to recoup investment and profit $75. Strategy 7 is leave as is and just continue to invite like-minded individuals. So those are the strategies that we have thus far. So I'm just going to open the floor up for some discussion.
All right, can I, thank you. Can I say something so that hopefully what I say helps everybody or mostly everybody to understand something? Okay, listen, I'm not a mathematician, but I'm pretty good with numbers. But it appears to me that what a lot of people may not understand is that each time that board closes, right? No, hold up, before I say that. First of all, it might have been a better idea to close the group, because as long as the group is open and people keep coming in, when people drop out, like from the first group, it was over 1,100 members. Okay, now that's what it showed, but that's not an accurate assessment because of the fact that some people have multiple boards. Some people did I just want to get my $800 in jet, so the 2.0 was a good idea. And I believe at the beginning, I thought I had saw a message that they were only going to have like 300 people in the group and it was going to be closed, because as long as the thing is not closed, right? Everyone that has a spot on the board, okay, the money that you put up to get on the board was to payment of someone else. So the real deal is that there's no revenue flow until someone else comes in, and the only way to close out a board is for 8 people to join so that one person can get paid. So in a sense, it wasn't intentional, but kind of cutting off our nose to spite our face by continuing to invite people into the group.
Right.
And on the note that of the idea of, a person taking, a person that's in the water, formulating their own group. And I understand what you're saying about training people. That's not a bad idea. But the thing is that if you have a job, it is a tremendous responsibility. And unless you are very vigilant with the number of people that you have in it, it's gonna create the same problem, because there's already been 2 different groups spoke about. I know other groups that are in the exact same situation, and yeah, maybe the post article has something to do with that, but the more numbers of people that join, numbers get off, because it has to be 8. You're working with 8s. If it's not 8, then it's, even though it's boards, but people are already on boards, they've already paid. So they're waiting to be blessed, but the only way for them to get blessed is for a board to be closed out, and that's when you get your blessing. Did that help anybody?
Yeah, I
Right.
think it did. But I wanted to say something because I think because because that's what takes us back to strategy number one. And I know they talked about people getting on the board, but I do think that if number one is a chosen one, that would probably, based on what this young man just said, that would be the one that people would just donate, and that would be a surplus of the money to push the boards on without creating new boards. Like, is that something that you can do with that $50 donation? Could you use that money to push the boards along without creating new boards, without having people share? Because the reality is we'll be back in the exact same position the more boards we continue to create, even with the $50 donation.
Here's the thing, how it's set up, you have to create boards. There's no getting away from not creating a board. Every time a board closes, it splits. So you have.
Karen, can I say something real fast? Because I think people misunderstand a new board. Okay.
Right.
There's a difference with when you say a new board. Some people are on the mindset that the new board is you creating a board start from scratch. And that's not what is happening when we are creating new boards. Every single time a board closes out, you must split that board. So if you guys analyze and you look at the board, you have two people. When you have the person in the water, you have two people on the opposite sides of each other, correct? In order for those two people to go in the water at the same time without choosing who goes first, the board has to separate and create two new boards. So I want to make everybody have that understanding that it's not us going and creating a whole board from scratch and starting with new people. It's not. You have to split a board so that fairly everyone who is in those spots that are next to go into the water get watered at the same time. So when we do splits, you always see, can you guys hear me? You always see one number represented twice. So for example, when you see board 107, you see board 107 twice. And that reason is because those two people should get watered at the same time when that board splits. So I just want everyone to understand that we're not creating new boards, but you have to do splits in order for us to get everyone through the watering cycle.
Does it, getting back to what the gentleman said, as far as if you have a group of like-minded people and you say, for example, close the group to the members that we have in now, and we constantly, get in the water, and we constantly keep the group going by getting in the fire. That wouldn't work. That's a question.
To me, what that sounds like is a true savings group with no profit. Right. You're basically just getting your money up front. This situation is a savings group with a return. So what I'm hearing is a savings group. So you're going to constantly put money in, but just on your turn, you're going to get the lump sum. So there is no profit to that. It is useful, but it is no profit to that. It's just basically every month. What I'm hearing is I want to be a part of a savings group where every month I put in $100, and then when my month comes, I get the lump sum of that money. But there is no profit there. You're just circulating money, and then on your time you get your money. You'll get your lump sum, but every month you're putting out.
No, that wasn't what I was.
Okay.
If I may say something,
Sure.
I think that it is very extremely important. I don't know how many people are on this Zoom, but it's very extremely important that people understand the purpose and the intent of the program. Anybody that comes in and gives $100 and then takes the money and run is really doing themselves a very huge disservice. Because this thing is one of the best things since sliced bread. So we need to really come together and really understand that the only way that we can all be blessed is to keep this thing going and do what is supposed to be done. If anybody on this Zoom is really not going to do what needs to be done, if they just have a different idea in mind to get a little bit and then split, it is just really a huge disservice, not just to themselves, because they could fund their vision and dreams. We shouldn't only have to punch a clock. Everybody in the world needs something else in addition to make it in today's world, especially you see the condition and everything in the world that's going on. So we really need not to do ourselves a disservice, but really need to also help ourselves and help other people. That's the whole intent of the program, so that we can do some other things. So if anybody on this Zoom, if the mindset is not such, then don't even get involved to take a little bit of money and run. Get in it for the long haul and do what needs to be done so we can all be successful at this thing.
Amen.
Band together. Every other culture bands together. Open businesses, make money, all of that. And we have an issue with us not doing the same. So let's change our mindset. Let's band together.
Absolutely.
And you don't even have to, it's not that hard to do. This is my third one being in my life. Right. It's not that hard to do, but the mindset of the people is where we have struggled as people of color, African Americans. So let's do what we see other cultures doing so that we can all.
Yes. Okay. All right, Karen, I see you.
Can I say something real quick, Aaron?
Yes.
It's Saban again. Eugene, thank you for that. I noticed your opening statement was you're not sure how many people are even on this call. So something I want to bring to everyone's attention that there are a little over 70 or 71 people, 72 people now on this call, and we have well over 500 members in Blessings 2.0. So with that, please, if you have not already done so, I think it's imperative that those of us that are on this call this evening, please reach out to encourage all of our family and friends to read through all of the proposed strategies on their own and cast their vote. These may be members that we, actually introduce to the group. It may be members that we know personally that don't check in on the Blessings 2.0 chat regularly. Whatever the case may be, please, guys, if you can, just reach out to them, because as Aaron mentioned earlier today, this will ultimately affect every single member. So it will be great for every active member to be given an opportunity to be a part of the change and cast their vote, as well as simply just be apprised of the upcoming changes. So that's all.
Thank you.
If you were trying to chat with me, the chat is now enabled. I apologize.
Uh-oh.
Someone needs to mute.
Let me mute all and then.
And how much she,
wait a minute,
how much she has been
brothers
told she can borrow.
My dad and I'm.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I think I muted everyone. Mute. Okay. Is there any other questions or anything we need to kind of work through? Now, and also, it's a couple of these suggestions that can be done at the same time. So just keep that in mind. I know with the what is it? The survey, you can only pick one, but there's others that we can do at the same time, as far as options or strategies, that is. Any other questions?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment, please.
Yes.
Again, I applaud the administrators and all that you're doing. Sorry for the feedback. And all that you're doing and trying to keep this board alive. And so to the administrators, we appreciate you. We've heard, a lot of comments, and then even the one, of course, that as the membership and others continue to come on board, play on words, but as others join, then, it expands all the more. So in the midst of all the options that we're talking about, if in fact, with the second board, we close it out for a moment to new people coming on board. And then as we are blessed with a commitment to re-bless, then why, my thing is, what do you think it would look like if we repopulate that board? In other words, if I'm in the fire and eventually I get to the water, on that same board, I'm gonna go back to being in the fire to continue the popcorn effect with pushing others out so that they would receive their blessings.
Yes, that's how you're asking if that can be done.
Yes, that's something
that's what we implemented that maybe a week or two ago, the automatic re-blessing. So basically, when you're in the water, you will act as your own eighth fire. That's why you will receive. See, you got blessed early on, so you were getting the 800. But now how we're doing it is you are your eighth fire. So you will receive $700 from other members, and that eighth $100 would have basically, you would have been essentially paying yourself. So you
correct.
Yeah, so you automatically are on the fire. So we've implemented that. I wish we would have thought about that from board one, but you live and you learn.
Correct.
So that would have helped a lot. Although I still think we would have still come to this point. However, it would have helped.
Right.
But I'm sorry.
So I'm aware of the part one, and maybe it's too late for the part two, where again, there would have been a structure in place that once I came out of the water, that I would just become a fire again on that same board because of my commitment to re-bless, and just kept the popcorn. You know what I'm trying to say. I think you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Problem.
Right. Aaron, I really don't think you lost a lot of people by not having the automatic instituted in the very beginning, because most of the people and I got watered early on. That just gave me incentive to
put more
fires.
Right,
and I put a lot of fires in the beginning because I got watered early.
Right.
And I knew that I trusted the process. And so you don't, I don't know if you can really second guess yourself with regard to the people who got watered early on, because that right there was an incentive to even go harder.
Right.
And, a lot of my blessings that I blessed people was very early on. I was blessing left and right. So that wasn't necessarily, but I do agree that that's a good idea to do it that way. But I don't think you really missed out on a lot of people early by not having it that way. That's my comment.
Hello? Yes, I have a question on strategy number 2. Can we go back to that one right quick? If you're only blessed, if you're on the wheel just one time, okay? And then you were saying that you would go back to the fire, so which means you would pay the additional $100, correct?
Correct.
We're talking about strategy 2.
Yes.
So you're on the fire now. You've only on one board. So you're on the fire on that one board. So now with the analysis, I'm going to come up again because I'm one of those ones that's only blessed one time. I've only gotten on the board one time. So my question is, am I going to still be on the board that I'm currently on now? And then with the analysis, I'm on another board paying the additional $100.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be on 2 boards.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right. That's
okay. Correct. Okay. So I won't lose my spot on the board that I'm
Absolutely
on.
not.
Even though I'm on fire.
No.
Okay. So I'm still fire. Okay, the fire on 2 boards. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, Aaron,
That was-
can I? Oh, sorry.
Hi, I have a question.
Hold on, let me mute some people. Oh, not you. You, Keyshawn, you were talking.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm sorry. I have very poor service all the time. Also with option 2, my understanding is it's not for us just to operate in this automatic robotic order. Like that is being implemented to help us move, but we should still have momentum in the group. And if someone is like, hey, I'm not up to join a board, but I want to, so let me hop on this. We want to continue that as we've been doing initially. So it just won't, my understanding is it won't just become, this is the order we follow. Like it'll be still, people should be excited. And if they were just watered and they're like, hey, I want to get on 3, I want 3 spots or whatever we're allowing.
Right.
That's how we want it to flow.
Right. That's true.
So what strategy is has the most votes right now?
2. Strategy 2.
I have a question about strategy 2. Is this a temporary thing, or is like strategy 1, it says to create momentum, or strategy 2 is a permanent?
This actually could be very permanent, only because as people are being placed on the boards, they will then receive their blessings sooner rather than later. And it just will keep the momentum going. So in my opinion, yes, Saban, when you all were thinking about this, were you thinking for this to be long-term or something to create momentum?
Absolutely, long-term. If it works for the group and, the momentum is back and we're excited about it and we see these boards closing and, we're adding the fires and there's no issues, then yeah, absolutely. I don't see a reason to stop it.
It shouldn't be able to stop because that's showing that everyone is making a commitment to the community and they're wanting to keep the momentum going. They want to keep blessing and getting re-blessed themselves. And that was the whole concept from day one, to continue the savings and being able to help each other within the community. And to me, I think is it's being fair across the board. And like I said, our option is to have people to buy in if they want to. But if you have people that are wanting to buy in your spot that are not part of this community, you have got to let them know and explain to them the whole process of the community, and that they're not going to just be blessed and then just run away from the community, because that's not what we're trying to create. We're trying to create something that's going to help everyone in the long run for their, whatever they aspire to do with the money. But we want something that can be continuously growing within the community.
One other point I wanted to make is that I really like the strategy 4. Whatever we come up with, I would like to implement strategy 4 along with whatever we decide, and that's with on those 3 days blessing the older boards, basically posting the older boards for 3 days, and then another 3 days we post the newer boards. Because how we have it now is we're literally waiting for, again, I'm going to use the 100 example. We're waiting for all 100 to close before we even start the splits of the 100. So what happens is, and I want people to understand, so you have board 1 to board 100, and we're closing all of those before we go back to board one split. I need you all, it's basically 3 levels to get watered. When you first started, when we had 1 board, and then even at the 10 boards, you were able to get your return very, very quickly. Why? Because it was only a little bit of boards. Now we're working with 226 closed boards, which means that we have to close all, I think we only are at 106 in splits. So we had to basically close 106 boards. Then we had to go back to split each one of those boards. So that's why it takes so long, because it's literally 3 levels to get to the fire position. But when you have so many boards, which is out of our control because that's just how it multiplies every time you close a board. But what we're saying is, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we post 10 older boards. So, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we post 10 newer boards. That way people don't have to wait as long. And they can, like, dang, I gotta wait till 450 something, board split. And so at least this way, I mean, at this point, we would like to just try anything to try to create that momentum and people receive a quicker return. So any questions to that?
Question about that strategy 4, because I actually looked at that. So I just wanted to know, so can you kind of give an example? So for example, I'm up next to be watered, but my board is not until like 400 and something, 417 or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
So how would that impact someone like me who's up next to be watered, but now we're going to go back? Like, can I get an example of that? Because I want to know how would that work and still not feel a little unfair when you're already sitting around waiting.
So 3 days a week, we'll work on how we're typically doing it. We'll work on it. I mean, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll post, because right now it's kind of slow. We've only just recently just closing out 1 or 2 boards a day, whereas it was times that we were closing out 30 boards a day. So what we're saying is on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 boards of the way we currently do it. I mean, as far as the order, 10 boards we close out each of those days. Then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, it will be 10 boards that are newer, meaning at that 400 level, you're in the water. So now you can potentially get blessed, as opposed to waiting from our split of 106 that we're currently on right now. You going through 106 to 400. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I was because I liked 4 at first, but I didn't know. I just needed a better understanding. Okay.
Aaron, this is Sheila. Can I say something right quick?
Yes.
I like what you said, especially if we do the second strategy, because that would answer the young lady at first about, because she's only on 1 board and she may have just gotten on and then she have to come back. That would give the newer people incentive to not pull out by having to pay the $100 first, because they have a better chance of their board coming up alongside with me, who have not been watered and joined June the 17th and have 12 boards.
Right.
So we all are waiting, but we don't want anybody discouraged whether they just joined or been there waiting. So we will all be getting watered at the same time, basically, and it will not discourage them from having to pay and continually wait a long time.
Yes. Any other questions?
I agree, Aaron. Now, what about it's echoing. What about people in the middle, though? Won't they potentially kind of get left out and stuck?
Listen, I don't. Maybe we do 3 sections, old, a middle, and a new, and then and change the days. We could try that. At this point, I'm willing to try anything. We have way too much money involved to just not exhaust all options.
So can I say this one thing? And if we look at the math part of it, and I think I've posted several times throughout the group how much this group has generated as a community so far. Does anybody know what that number is?
$14,000.
$14,000? You're saying that this group has only generated $14,000?
Over 200,000.
Yes, it's $180,000 since July, what was the actual date, Erin?
16th.
July 6th, July 14th.
July 14th was in the older group, but
I'm sorry. So
but you can
July
do that.
16th, regardless.
Oh, yeah,
It hasn't
well,
even
yeah.
been a month yet that this group has generated $180,000 that circulate in one community. And I want y'all to just sit there and think of that number and really understand, can you truly understand what is happening here and being thankful for that and understand that we are blessing one another? Because how can that money circulate that fast? That doesn't happen that fast at all. But it's understanding the process, it's trusting the process, understanding when you put something in, you get something out. When you get something out, sometimes you got to put a little bit more in to make it work even better. That's all I have to say.
Amen, amen. Quick question.
This is Kim. Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because I've kind of been waiting. I'm sorry. I'm trying to juggle my kids too. So I just want to make sure that I have a very clear understanding. One, I do agree with everybody. I feel like everybody on this call is in it for the long haul. That's why we're all here and we're all trying to understand it. So I just want to make sure for number 2, because that's pretty much where my heart is right now. I appreciate that one. But I also appreciate the combination of number 2 and 4, you know, kind of swapping out and giving the newer, the older, and possibly the middle a chance. So for number 2, I wanted to understand to make sure I get it correctly for the running through the board. So if somebody's on there one time, so for instance, I'm on 2 spots on 2 boards. So I have 4, right? 4 spots that I'm on. So for somebody who's on 1, are we saying that we're going to run through everybody that's listed as having only 1 board? Once those are done, then we move over to the list of people who have 2 boards, and
Yes.
then we move over to 3. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I completely understood that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, but let me ask you this, because you just said, so you said I'm on 2 boards, meaning you came in on a fire as 2, and then what? Where's the other 2 again?
Okay, so when I came in as a fire.
Mhm.
I was in that moment where things switched over. I got watered pretty quickly, like abnormal turnaround. Okay, so once I got watered, so the process of the auto regifting wasn't in place, but I jumped on in 2 different spots.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, on 2 spots on 1 board, and then after a few boards have passed, I still have not been watered again, but I jumped on 2 more spots on 1 board again. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you actually have 5.
Well, oh,
that's 5.
Well, no, because it wasn't auto regifting back then.
No, but it doesn't matter. You paid for 3. No, you paid for 1. You came in as a fire. You got blessed. You came back on for 2, right?
Yes,
then,
that's right.
Then you didn't get blessed again, but you hopped on again for 2.
Yes, that's correct.
So you're 5. That you consider 5.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think the question is, she asked you if you came on with 1 board, but I thought I heard you say that you came on initially with 2. Was it one?
So what I was saying was initially when I started, I came on and I was in 1 position as a fire. I made it to the water, and then once my money cleared, I came back in and jumped on 2 positions on 1 board.
Okay.
And then I still have not reached the water for a second time, but I chose to jump on another board in 2 spots again.
Yeah, so that's 5.
That's 4.
No, that's 5. That's 5.
If she was paid for 1 and she said it wasn't the automatic rebuy at that time, so then
It's
she
only
got
4.
That right. She got paid
That's
for
correct.
that. So that 1 moved that 1
It's
because she got
5.
paid. Then she came
paid $500. It's 5.
Yeah, she paid
100 the first time. Then she paid 200 the second time. Then she paid 200 the third time.
Yes.
That's 5.
That's 5.
Yes. So I get it. So you're looking at the 4 as what I'm currently on, but in total for the process, I have been in total on 5 boards, 5 spots.
5 spots. Yeah.
Right, but for option 2, it wouldn't be your total. It would be based on how many open existing boards you're on, not including closed boards.
Oh, so that's what you're doing? Okay.
4.
Okay.
So it would be 4.
Okay. I thought you were doing it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense too. Thank you.
Yeah, you can.
So quick question, Aaron. So as Saban mentioned, we have 70-something participants, 500 members. What's the plan so we can collectively work together? Because once a decision is made, admin's going to be flooded with questions and possible complaints. So are there going to be recurring Zoom calls to explain, or is there a strategy? Because we want to work together to help you all, because I know you get flooded with redundant questions, and that's why we all need to do our part to touch everyone we know as members and try to explain. But
go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The suggestion is what the young lady just said is true. So maybe this is a suggestion. You set a time frame. Like when I say a time frame, a couple of days or 1 week from today.
Oh, Wayne, you're muted.
The other members can get contacted, and then that way it's the whole body, because
what do you mean by contacted? You saying for us to reach out to them?
Oh no. Okay. I mean, listen. Okay. They earlier that like there was only 70-something people on it, but we have 500 members. Okay.
Right.
So which logically means that, like me, for instance, there I don't know, people that I've invited to the group that are on boards. Okay. Now I contacted one of them and actually had a conversation with him, and he said he couldn't watch the Zoom. So when I finish, listening to everything that's going on, I'm going to explain it to him. And just one of the other people was calling me back. So the people who invited people in, who you invited in. So you take the time to reach out to the people who you invited in so that you can best explain it to them. Or you set a date for the next Zoom. But that's why I'm saying you set a time frame of, 3 days to 7 days to come back, or maybe in a couple days you come back with an update. Maybe it can be done in less than 7 days. Maybe it could be done, in 4 days. I don't know what the number is, because I don't know how much time it's going to take for people to contact people, because I reached out to some people and I was not able to contact each and every person. And even the people that I contacted, they said, well, you're going to watch it? You're going to be paying attention? Yes, I'm going to be paying attention, because I I'm pretty sure everybody on this line is trying to be in this for the long haul, or you wouldn't be on this conversation. So I'm going to take the time, especially because of the fact that I reached out to people. I reached out to people. So I don't want, I don't want them, like, for instance, I'm not saying this is going to happen. Say if the group closed tomorrow, right? Then they're going to be looking at me, see, you got me in some BS. Okay? I don't want to have that conversation with people. So I'm trying to inform people so that they could either hear it for themselves, or I'll tell them what I heard today. And if you set and tell them to pay attention to the thing, and you'll find out when the next Zoom is, so that you can hear for yourself, because we all have the same goal, but we just got to come together collectively in this community and make this work.
Question: is this Zoom recorded to where it could be posted in Telegram for our group or something like that, so people can listen to it? You don't have to have all the burden of continuing to do a lot of Zooms to try to get everybody to work. And like I know the other brother said, Teacher, I'm going to be calling my friends that I invited in and make sure they understand what's going on, because I know one of them's not on this call. I found out about this just as I was pulling up to the house, but luckily I was able to hop on it. So is it a possibility that this could be posted?
Yeah, it's recorded, and I think I feel a little bit more comfortable posting this Zoom call. So so yes, I'll and then the thing is, the only thing what was it? I think I have to put it, I don't know, either way I'll figure out how to send it out, but yes, I will.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions before we wrap up?
Okay, sorry. Just one more time. So strategy 2, I'm already on one board. Do I keep that board and I have to put another $100 in to get into another board? Is that what was being said?
Yes. Wait a minute, say that again. You said you're already on a board. You have to
Yes,
put it in.
I got one spot on one board. And so in order for me to keep that spot on that board, I have to put in another.
Not that spot. That the spot that you've already paid $100 for is locked in and moving, or how, you know, it's locked in. This is $100 for a new slot.
Oh, a new slot. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I just had a question, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I looked at all of the options or whatever, and my wife and I, we were talking it over as we were driving down the interstate. But I just had a question. Okay, so I understand the options, but is there any wiggle room for like another option?
It's always wiggle room. We at this point we want the suggestions and whatever makes the best sense for the community.
Okay, so this is what I was thinking. So way back when I joined the military, I got a banking account and I found out that the bank was giving me 0.03% on the dollar. I wasn't even making a penny on the dollar. And that's pretty true today. So when you look at what's going on, you know, there is nowhere that you won't get a felony, be arrested or something like that, where you can take $100 and turn it into this kind of money. So the other thing is we should not be investing grocery, car note, rent, mortgage, child tuition pay, and stuff like that. So with that being said, I like the option about, you know, seeding, you know, money or whatever, because my thought was, you know, everybody who has not been blessed, you know, if you've never been watered, then don't worry about it. But everybody who has gotten watered before, pay $100. And then after you pay your $100, every time you hit, then every time you get watered, then the 100 goes to resow into another board, and then you sow 100 toward old boards to get them closed out. You're still walking away with 600. Even if you tithe 100, you're still walking away with 5. But if you don't tithe off it, that's fine. Hey, that's between you and whoever. But that's still $600 on a $100 investment. And then plus, so now you're getting in a new board, and then you're putting money toward closing boards out in the past. Because I know a lady right now that sold into 25 boards. I go to church with her, 25 boards. So she has blessed 25 people. You know what I'm saying? So, and like mostly everybody's saying, we're in this for the long haul, because like I say, you can't get a return on investment like this without expecting somebody to show up at your door or be in jail.
Right.
So I mean, you know, and I think people need to understand that, you know, it's not get in it and, you know, within a week, I want everything, you know, I want it all and this and that. And for the people that want to get in, hit right quick and get out, I'm fine with them leaving, because they're not here with the right mindset anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're doing this because you need rent money next month or, you know, a week from now, then you're in it for that's not, it don't always work like that.
Right.
So I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Like I say, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the seed 100 just to get the board moving. And, you know, every time you get watered, you know, 100 goes to, you know, getting you on another board, but then another 100 goes toward closing old boards, because people that have been, you know, sowing in the past and closing out boards in the past, they deserve to get their boards closed. They deserve to get watered.
Right.
So I appreciate.
Okay. So basically, the 8th strategy would be, you put in 100, and your profit is 600, because 100 it goes to your automatic re-blessing.
Yeah.
And then another 100 goes to closing another board?
To closing the oldest boards. And let's start with the old boards. And like I say, the people that have never been watered, you don't have to do this. But those of us that have been watered a few times in this and that, there is no reason why you should not be able to, you know, in an effort to keep this thing moving and to keep it jump starting and get it going. So 100, you're going to get that 100 back. You're going to get the 100 that you first started with back. You already got that back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you've hit 2 times, you've got everything back plus how much.
And I agree with you, sir. And I think that's a good idea because I've been blessed a couple of times, and I'm certainly ahead of the game, and I would have no problem, you know, reinvesting, you know, each time you get blessed plus 100 to bless someone else. You're still ahead of the game, you know.
Hey, this is Lasagna. I have my hand up. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see the little hand thing.
That's okay. That's okay. I hope everybody's doing fine. Happy Friday. But I agree with both the gentlemen that just spoke. I just blessed a couple of days, or I think it was yesterday. You know, just try to get the momentum back going. I, you know, raised my hand for, or started in for one slot on 2 separate boards or whatever, and we were able to close out one. But I think I'm on 17 boards. 2 times each board, with the exception of one board, I'm just on 1 slot. And I haven't been watered yet, but that's okay because you know what? I came into this, like they say, disposable income. I had disposable income, and I said, you know what? This is a good blessing. And my husband is on here. He's on 4 boards. I had my daughters come in, and so they're on 2 boards. Even my teenage son has 3 spots on the board. So my family and I together, we have over $3,000 invested in this, and we haven't been watered once, but still we are not discouraged, and we still keep encouraging other people to come. Now, I don't mind continuing to sew in the $200, and when I get watered eventually, you know, to sew back in my $200 that I initially sewed in. I don't mind that going on a new board and you know, the old board. I don't mind that. And I feel like, you know, that's how we can continue blessing each other. You know, we have to continue to look out for one another and keep each other inspired and encouraged. And so if we truly believe in this, we got 500 people in this group. I don't mind all of us come on in, sowing a seed to move 50 boards, sowing a seed of $100. Reach back and get them people that you brought in here. Let's bless and be blessed. You know, that's my attitude about it. And I mean, if I can sacrifice $3,000 and not get $1 back, and I've been in here about a month, but I'm not discouraged. My hope is that, you know, things will start back moving, that like-minded people will come in onto this board, and that we will get this, you know, get this party started, because I'm ready. But that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Lasagna. Sonia, is it Sonia? Lasagna?
It's Lasagna. And I appreciate you guys still, you know, continuing to try to strategize and regroup and listening to our ideas. I think a weekly Zoom call would be really encouraging and inspiring for those people who don't know the rules. Because for whatever reason, us as Black people, we don't read.
No, I know. I was like, oh my God,
y'all be expecting for people to go back and look at the messages. They not reading them.
Yeah.
My kids don't like to read. You know, so that being said, we like to talk. We some talking people. So I think a weekly Zoom call would be great to invite all of our people who are inviting people to invite their new invitees to come in and listen to what's going on, listen to what's expected, listen to the rules and the expectations and all of that. I think that'll be good for them. Because again, I know somebody said, you inviting people in and you just telling them, come get this money, but you're not explaining all the A, B's, and C's. You done skip all the way to Z. Of course, they're going to be questioning like, okay, what board 207 at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand the process.
Right.
So
yes.
Thank you guys for, you know, continuing to be inspired. Despite all of this, it's going to turn around. I feel it.
Yeah,
so y'all just keep the faith and hold on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Y'all take care.
Miss Mary, Dr. Mary.
Yes, hi, this is Dr. Mary Lewis. I just want to
to reiterate that, I'm for you guys. I'm praying for you guys. And I want us to remember that a race is not given to the swift nor the battle to the strong, but he that endured to the end. When we came into this, we should have knowledge that we were taking a risk, that one day this was going to slow down. And when I called you the other night, that I was in prayer and asked God, what can we do to help this group? And, even the idea that I thought, if we can get everybody to pay 16 people pay $50, however, or 8 people pay $100, just to get us started and to get us moving. And forsake that. Don't even ask to get on the board, just to help the community moving. This is something that we need to look into. First of all, you said something, Ms. LaSonia, that we do not read. We as Black people, we're not together. And we need to start working this thing together. Because I think we're better and stronger together when we read, when we apply ourselves and understand that we need to know what is being, why Aaron and the rest of the team came together so we can have a community of money to bless one another, because we are about to break upon such a devastating financial problem in America. And if we don't work together, it's not going to work at all.
Yeah.
So what you guys are doing, I'm for you guys. I'm here. So just let me know what we can do so we can get this thing running. And remember what Luke 9:62 says, any man that put his hand to the plow and look it back is not fit for the kingdom of heaven.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Aaron, may I say something real quick?
Yes.
Okay. For the gentleman who proposed that we those who have been watered re-gift, I think that maybe can be pulled into the analysis as well, because I know, Renee, you probably know how many people, just exactly how many have been watered, but we need to determine how many have been watered, and you have to have participation. I don't know that we can enforce that people volunteer, or water if they've already been watered. So I think that is a start, but we need to be looking at something long-term as well. So I think that information would have to be retrieved from the analysis to know how many people have been watered and what that would result in or yield if they were all 100% were to re-bless someone, knowing that we won't have 100%, of course, but just doing the numbers.
Okay, thank you. I'm anxious to see that spreadsheet, Keyshawn.
Aaron, don't see you messed up because you put me on the spot. I was supposed to be discreet.
Well, so Keyshawn is the one that's doing all of the analysis, doing all of the back end work to try to see where people fall and how we can kind of move forward if we do go with strategy 2. Is there any other questions? Any other questions?
What was strategy 2 again? I'm sorry, I was on the phone. I'm sorry, I was on the phone call and I missed that part.
Saban?
Screenshot. I mean, do you want to just, one?
He can just listen into the
listen
to the call. Just have him listen back to the call. Because it's too.
Okay, so Jason.
Go back and read it. It's no problem.
Jason, can you hear me?
Yes.
So this is this video this Zoom meeting is recorded. So I'm going to send out the link to everyone so they can review it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. More question.
Okay.
And that question is about the comment about the gentleman that made this comment about the re-blessing people, the people that have been watered already. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that is a good idea, and I do know one thing for sure, that would definitely get things moving. Now, is that going to be a permanent or a temporary thing?
That was just a suggestion. We haven't agreed on anything. That's something we're going to have to go back. I guess, I don't know if we have to make executive decisions on some things. I guess we will have to on some things. So that's something that probably we would need to discuss at the, as admins. Yeah. So
Ma'am,
I can't answer that right
it's not
now.
a problem. I was just throwing it out there. It's not a problem.
I think it's a great idea though.
Yeah, when I proposed that, I was only proposing it until we get caught up. You know, we can always transition back to the reso 1 and, you know, pocket 7. We could always transition back to that, but just to get everybody caught up and start getting people on just to get things moving. But at the same time, the people that have sown, you know, many weeks ago, to, you know, start bringing them up current with what the board owes them, what we owe them as a group, because we owe them that. Because at some point it's sold into different pockets of people that are sitting out here on this call right now. And it's on us, it's incumbent upon us to sow back into them that sold into us first. So I'm not saying that this has to continue to go like this forever, but until we get everybody caught up, I feel like it would be prudent to say, you know, as a means of saying thank you to those that have sown in the past, so that we could have been watered. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thought. It's not a forever thing, but that's up to all of us because this is ours.
Right.
And do you know how many people that hasn't been in the water? Do y'all have a number?
No. I'm gonna just be honest with you. No. So
Aaron.
Keyshawn, yes.
How could you not know how many people have been watered? Because you know,
I know
how many
I know how many people have been watered. I mean, I know it's 226 people. Well, not people, because some people have been watered several times, but 226 boards have been closed.
Right. So that's.
But have I done the analysis on that? No, I haven't.
Understand.
It'll be included. It'll be included.
Thank you, Keyshawn.
I was just trying to get a number.
Yeah, no problem.
We know how to bless, that's all. Because some of us, like you said, when Brother Shannon was saying about giving that 100, then giving another 100. So if you have, like you said the other day, if you have that money laying around and you could bless, like I did. I'm on the board about 10 or 12 times, and I brought in about 10 or 12 people. But I've already received from those people, was blessed $5,600. So I count my blessings, you know, and I'm blessed by that. So now I just want to see other people blessed like I've been blessed. No, I didn't receive the money. I gave the money to the people who got the money. But I want to see other people feel the same elations that we felt when we received our blessings as well. That's what reason why I asked you about how many people need to be watered, so we can get to that closure and feel that safety net, and have them to feel good about themselves and not putting bad things out there.
Right, and I agree with you. My situation is the same.
Well, Steve, ours isn't. Now, I got a question. With the current numbering system, I'm sitting on a board that's like 150 something. When it splits, it's going to be 300. I'm underwater, so I'm not going to see a blessing till we get up in the thousands. So as we're currently doing this with the numbering system, you know, as your boards are getting like 200s and all that, you're looking in the thousands before the people who are sitting on the fire are going to be blessed.
Right. So that's why we probably can you all mute your phones? That's probably that's one of the reasons they have the suggestion strategy 4, where we take days to post some of the newer boards and the older boards. And so now we probably will implement in the middle as well. So people that are in those situations that came on later will start to receive their blessings sooner. Anything else?
Thank you.
Yes, I just have one more question. When do the votes need to be in?
Well, we said today at 5, but you know, people still didn't, you know, we're having this meeting. So I think we should give it until Saturday evening. So people can review this video. Also by Sunday, we should have the analysis, and hopefully we can, you know, say, you know, the results of the survey, and then on Monday, well, you know, Sunday, we're off, and then on Monday, we can start implementing the strategy.
Thank you.
I have a question. Not a question, but so I appreciate strategy 4 and the unwritten strategy 5 that your gentleman had presented to the group. And so just me trying to visualize that for the unwritten 5, that would be, I know it's automatic fire for me if I'm watered. And then for the additional 100 blessing, would it be a list of people who would to be donate that 100 to the next board to be watered?
You talking about strategy 2 or
the unwritten 5?
Oh, the unwritten strategy.
Yes, the one that the gentleman presented to pretty much take away.
Honestly, that and the way it's looking is looking like number two will be the strategy. So to me, all 3 of those things can be implemented at the same time.
Okay.
I mean, and then I don't have the results of everything, but it does look like 2 and 4 are the top ones. And if we were to add the unwritten strategy, all 3 can work at the same time.
Okay, because I wouldn't have a problem with walking away with, you know, 600 and I'm, you know, gifting back to, you know, the board that I just came off of, put me back into a fire and regifting somebody else automatically another board as well.
If we were to implement all 3 of those strategies, we would really be in a great position, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I really
okay
believe we will be.
Yeah, because I'm automatically give back anyway, so that works.
Any other questions before we wrap up?
I don't have a question, but I want to say that
Hello?
I appreciate, and we all, I'm sure, appreciate you guys. You guys are totally awesome and so effective. I've never seen a group that handled things the way you guys did. And I just want to say, I want to salute you guys for being the awesome ladies that you are. And we definitely appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm in
You know, the last couple of days it's been tough for me, but I appreciate the side comments. I mean, you know, direct messages that you all send me, encouraging me, praying for me. So, oh God, I'm about to cry, Lord. I just appreciate it. When I was sick, you all sent me messages praying for me, and so I appreciate you.
I'm in total agreement with Brenda Terrell. You guys are phenomenal. I really don't understand how y'all do all of this with no pay. Just the fact that you all have the mindset to want to just bless everybody. I'm just blessed to be part of such like-minded, positive, dedicated, passionate administrators like you all are. And I can say this. Last year, March 26, 2019, and this is 60 seconds. I gotta tell it. It's on my heart to tell it. I became part of a part-time in-home business for only $99. I was patient. I did what I was supposed to do 1 day a week. As of last month, July, I made a little over $10,000 working part-time.
Wow.
I was glad to be able, you guys, to give $2,500 toward this blessing room. And if I don't get 1 penny back from that, I'm already blessed. My husband and I got into this to help a lady in our church, to be a blessing to her. We didn't want to do anything part-time, but we did it for her. And from the middle of June up to the end of July, $15,000 working 1 day a week, sometime 2. Part-time, choosing my own days and hours. So if I have to read bless in this, bring it on. Because every time we give out, God gives back to us. And we should, and I'm not saying nobody don't, but we should just focus on being a blessing. God will not, whatever ground you put, whatever seeds you put into the ground, you automatically got a harvest coming. Wait on it. Be anxious for nothing. God got us in this day and this time. You administrators, keep on doing what y'all doing, because y'all blessing is bigger than what y'all are receiving now. Everybody have a good evening. This is Mrs. Rice.
Thank you so much.
Ohio. I have no regrets about doing this. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Any last comments? I'm kind of nervous. I just got the message saying my computer is about to die. But any last parting words?
Yes, Miss Aaron. One more twist to that last suggestion. You know, where you're giving or donating the additional 200. How about consider going as a fire on one of those hundreds and donating the other? Then that way, that's not occupying or tying up that other 100.
So, I mean, that's definitely a suggestion. Hopefully, I mean, I think we were talking about the whole donating thing in strategy 1 with $50, and we had comments that said it couldn't work that way because getting into the water. Although I see it to me, I think it is possible, because when if that person donates $50 or $100 as a fire, when they get to that water position, it basically just closes the board and splits it without anybody. Oh no, because when you get to that water position, people still have to come.
Yeah, but
I don't know how that would work.
But if you were keeping that whole 800 towards filling pots.
Oh, right. Yes, you're right. You're right. That's when you get to that water position, and basically everybody would, let's just say the admin will pay the admin, then the admin will then get on other boards to pay that, to push people through.
Yes.
Yes, that is a possibility. That can work. So yeah, that's another. I don't know. Maybe what I can do for everyone that wants to donate, maybe I can solicit put out something in the group and getting a list of names of everyone who is okay with donating without seeking a return. Get that list, and then we start closing boards that way.
Aaron, all we have to do is just put an asterisk. So instead of putting a name where we would put the name, we'll just put an asterisk. And when those asterisks get to the middle, then we know that money right there goes to another board to get that board going through. So the money would just keep rotating to another group, to another group, to another group.
I think that's an awesome idea.
That's what I was talking about, Miss Aaron, about with no coming on with 16 or 8 with no commitment, and it just keep moving up. It pushes everybody up into the water, and when you get to the top, that board is dissolved.
Right. I think that's an awesome idea. And I think what we will do for that one is put it in the group and basically say, please, I need to know everyone who is willing to donate $100 or donate $50. I just need to generate a list from everyone, and then once I get that list, we will then start plugging it in, and who you need to send the money to, so we can close our boards. I think that's a great idea.
Then, Ms. Aaron, once we get these boards closed, then we can look at starting something new in the future, like you guys had listed already. So I think that would be something that would be done once we close off some boards, free ourselves up, and then you can think about further investing once we get to a better place.
Actually, yeah. So I do think the first call to action is basically asking if of all the 500 people who is interested in donating what either $100 or $50. Send me your name ASAP. Once I get that list of names, I will then start filling up those boards with those names, and then you donate your money. So that's one way we're going to close it. And then we will implement at the same time. I mean, like, you know, after all of the donations have gone through, the second phase will be probably the 3 strategies all going on at one time. And I think that will put us in a really good position. Is everybody okay with that? And again, you know, we still need to wait on the results, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be the 2, the 4, and the unwritten strategy. And the unwritten strategy would be not forever, just until we get out of where we are now, as far as that additional 100.
All right. Well, I think that's a good idea.
If we continue to do it indefinitely, we won't come to another point where we would always be ahead of the game.
So you're saying make it a permanent for the 200.
I don't have, I mean,
You know,
my family speaking, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I just feel like if we're going to be a community and we want to keep this thing going, you shouldn't be selfish. You should be willing to donate for the sake of keeping the group going. If you've been blessed, then you know, I think you should be willing to donate money to keep the group going and to keep it ahead of the game. That's my opinion.
Right. Receiving 600 is better than not receiving anything at all. I mean,
exactly.
Exactly. Giving so that you can receive. So that you get to receive. So 600 is better than, I'd rather have 600 and know that the program is continuing momentum than waiting to receive 800 and receive 800, but people aren't putting back in when they do it. So absolutely.
Right. Right. That way we can close out some of these boards, you know, even if we close them out with donations, that's fine.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. I appreciate you all. And so I'm going to, this meeting was recorded. I'm going to send this meeting out. We will close the survey Saturday evening. We will have the analysis part on Sunday. I will send out the results on Sunday, and we will try to, and then on Monday, I'm going to solicit the, you know, who is willing to donate on Monday, and start implementing some of these strategies on Monday as well. And we're going to all pray, and we're going to get through this. We will get through it.
I think Bishop Stephen had his hand risen.
Oh.
I think I saw that.
Okay. Bishop?
Oh, no. I shared already. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Who wants to close us out in prayer? Bishop, you want to close us out in prayer?
Sure. Blessed Savior, we love you and appreciate you for this opportunity to come together. We're thankful, Lord, for these your servants that have gathered to bless your community and to bless your people. We're thankful, Lord, for an opportunity. Lord, we're thankful, and we give your name the praise. We give you all the glory and honor. We ask you now, this place, but never your presence. Suffer your angels of mercy to remain encamped around those who love you, fear you, and reverence you. It is our prayer. It is our thanks. It is our opportunity, Lord, to give you the praise, to give you all the glory, Lord, for the blessings that you bestowed upon us. We ask you now as we seek, Lord, direction, as we seek your guidance, Lord, on how to continue to be a blessing to this community, to this people. We're thankful, and we're, Lord, already thankful, Lord, for what you've already done. We ask these blessings in Jesus' name. And the people said, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you all so
Amen.
much.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, admin. We love y'all.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will send this out as soon as I figure out how to send it out. I'll send this out tonight, somehow. All right. Good night, you all.
Good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night. We love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.